Your mindset is arguably the most important aspect to you as a being and how you are going to get on in this world. And we're going to talk about that here today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Seeds of Success podcast. This is your host, Colin Walters, and I want to dive right into things when it comes to mindset. And we'll walk through a couple aspects of this that were relevant to me today and how they will be relevant to you, hopefully, and your life moving forward. Specifically, how to handle a couple, adversity and develop adversity tolerance when things don't exactly go as planned or go your way. I have one specific question that I want to either A, hopefully enlighten you with, or B, remind you of if you've heard this before on a previous episode, because I used it again today. And then I have one rule that I just created today for myself to help consistently get things done that are super critically important with this one rule that I kind of just created today. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Here was the story. Sunday morning, I was about to go to the gym, right? I had knocked out a couple things in the morning, was ready to go. I opened a piece of mail that said, my landlord insurance policy is going to get canceled in 1.5 months. So, for those of you that do or don't know, I own a couple different rental properties in my real estate investing journey. And one of them, I just switched over to a landlording policy from a homeowner's over to a landlording, as I now have tenants in those units. And so this morning, I just got a notice of cancellation for a couple different line items. One was like moss on the roof, and then there was something with the siding, and then there was one other thing with I can't remember. The details are not important. They were kind of minor when I was reading them. But what was important is that something super urgent just hit my desk unexpectedly. And so this is where I just created, instead of the 2 minute rule, like many of you are probably familiar with or have heard in the past, if it's under 2 minutes, do it now, right? For example, doing your dish after eating, right? Or putting something away or throwing out the garbage, the 2 minute rule. If it's under 2 minutes, do it now. This one, when it is something so critically important like this, like having the proper insurance in case something gets happen. This is not something that I want to slip through the cracks, right? As I'm sure you can think about with either a work project or a personal project that you're working on, or something with your home or something with your family or whatever it may be, right? And so ultimately, I took immediate action. And what I realized is that everything that I did took about 15 minutes. And so I now have a 2 minute rule if things are, not super critically important, but it's like, do it now. And the future Colin will thank you. The future you will be grateful that you did that. Right. And it just keeps things tidy, moving, organized, and in order. This one is, if you can knock it out in under 15 minutes, and this is a critically important thing that cannot slip through the cracks at all, do it now. And, obviously, given your circumstances, you have to, take all things into consideration. If you have got to go get to an appointment or go pick up the kids from school or practice, or you have a meeting in 5 minutes, like, yeah, maybe don't do it. And then that's where you block it into your calendar, right? For me, I'm a avid user of reminders on my phone, putting it immediately into my digital calendar that I use and look at every single day, and then putting it into my personal calendar as well with alerts and notifications to make sure that nothing is slipping by. And then I have like a little Todoist app that I'll upload it into as well, just to make sure I'm hitting it from every angle, right? A little bit of upfront work goes a long way. That being said, getting to the gym, this trumped getting to the gym within the next 15 minutes. And so not only do I think that this 15-minute rule is super important, but I also think that it is very important to do things right then and on the spot when it is this important. So for example, instead of, ultimately I was like having a moment of like, okay, this is not good. Like, I need to get this figured out. But a quick second to take a pause, take a breath. All right, ask the question, what can we do right now? to take action on this. So I hit up my property management company, let them know exactly what was going on, and then let's set up a time to talk when they have time during the week. I totally understand it's the weekend right now. And then I reached out to my insurance agent. I reached out to another insurance agent that I have a different policy with to get these conversations started so that when they get into office Monday morning, right, it's right there, top of the inbox. I called, left voicemails as well, let them know that I sent the email. Please give me a call at your earliest convenience, all those things. Point being, taking immediate action, right? Because it was like 15 minutes of work to basically cast my net of to three different individuals to make sure that this conversation gets started ASAP so that in a month and a half, things are ready to go and we can figure this out and we can be proactive now so that it takes, less time in the future and that we can get this done, right? Because it probably would have taken me more time if I had to go and plan to reach out to these three individuals, reach out to the different companies. If I was like putting this into the calendar, probably take more time to then have to go and figure this out during the work week. That's already days that have gone by. I'm going out to a work conference this week. So it's like doing it right now, under 15 minutes, will save so much more time in the future. All right, so that was like the new rule. Use that as you wish. Feel free to adjust it. It can be 10 minutes, it can be 30 minutes, whatever you think works for you. I'm rolling with 15 because that's what happened and that's how I'm going to proceed moving forward. Moving into another question that I want to resurface here. I've talked about this in the past if you're familiar with this. And shout out my man Mario Minner, my former coach, very good friend. This is a question that when adversity arises, as it always inevitably does, a question that I have found to be so powerful in reframing the situation and extracting the positive from this thing, right? And or just extracting something valuable. Maybe remove positive with valuable, right? Is how could this actually be a good thing? So that's the question is how could this opportunity, this adversity, this annoyance, this thing that did not go as planned, how could this actually be a good thing? And back in the day, Mario challenged me with this question when I was dealing with a very disgruntled customer. And that question totally repositioned the way that I was thinking about it and then also feeling about it because there was a lot of stress and anxiety involved with that customer and thinking about all these 9,000 scenarios that A weren't true and that B didn't need to be thought of in that moment. But that question allowed me to come up with some creative answers of how that could actually be a good thing. And it forces you to reframe how you're looking at this situation. And so then for today, it was, I took these things, did those things that we just talked about, and then also asked myself, how could this actually be a good thing? Right. And answers immediately came, and I immediately felt better about the entire situation. First off, this felt like and feels like an opportunity to get better at problem solving, an opportunity to get better at problem solving, an opportunity to be a better professional, an opportunity to continue learning how to take care of things and how to handle things when they come up, as they inevitably do, an opportunity to be proud of how I'm handling these things, right? And more so, like opportunity, 100%. Like that made this entire situation better. Also, opportunity to continue developing these relationships with the property management company, showing them that I'm someone that hopefully they enjoy working with and can solve problems and work together and collaborate. Um, Further relationship building with different insurance agents that I'm already working with, and an opportunity to basically see things in this light, right? So I found that to be a very powerful question that I'm glad that I remembered. And as we continue to go through life, the more we ask that question, the more it becomes part of the routine and part of just how we handle things moving forward, how we handle adversity moving forward, right? Because at first I was kind of thrown off. I'm like, it was a great Sunday morning, and I was, had to just done some reading and was planning and journaling and feeling good. Had some coffee, like I was about to go hit the gym. Then I last minute opened up that envelope, and I was like, holy shit, like this isn't good. Was my initial reaction, and then it was kind of like a, whoa, I needed to like look into this right now. And then it was like, all right, take a step back. A reframe. I'm sure these things happen, right? And then how could this actually be a good thing? And what can I do right now to take action to A, handle it, and B, get rid of some of these feelings, right? And then do everything you can and then let it be. Right. So I will be expecting some phone calls and now I have some feelers out right tomorrow, et cetera. And same thing, like this has happened for me in the past where I remember I was shopping around for a property management company to look over and manage my properties. And I called, like I had this idea. I talked to my realtor on a Saturday. So I'm like, that's a great idea. I don't want to wait. This will take less than 15 minutes to look up and then call some of these property management companies. So I went to Reddit, did some research, got three different companies, made three different phone calls, left three different voicemails, and I got one call back Monday morning. They were scheduled to come out on the Tuesday, and we were under contract on the Wednesday. Things happen when you move fast but diligently, right? Do your research. Those other two never called back. You know what? Early bird gets the worm, and especially when it appears that you do a great job and then you deliver on that, right? They have been phenomenal to work with. Read through a ton of reviews and Reddit threads and recommendations, that sort of thing. So, anyways. That's what I wanted to talk about here today. I hope that that question helps you. How could this actually be a good thing? Right. And then also, what can you do now to take action towards that thing to get resolution? Do those things and then let things be. And then lastly is the 15-minute rule. Can you do it now in roughly under 15 minutes? If yes, do it. If not, schedule it out, time block it, and get it done, but don't let it slip. I hope you're having a great day wherever this finds you, and I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Seeds of Success podcast. If you got to the end of this episode, can you please do me a huge favor and leave a 5-star rating and review? This helps me be able to reach out to bigger guests and also be able to get access to special events and activities that otherwise would not be possible without your support. So if you could please take just 3 seconds and leave a 5-star rating and review, it would mean the world to me, and I will see you on the next episode.